Hi, I'm Elizabeth Gia. Welcome to Career Choices, where you learn about different professions and make informed decisions on your career choices. Email us at qip.career.choices@gmail.com. Today's guests may just come close to having that dream job. As they work, they're able to maintain their figures, become creative, and they have a great time doing things. They're teaching people some dance moves as they burn calories. And they're also showing people how to dance as a form of exercise. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Manuel Bandini and Ms. Joy Thibeault, instructors and co-founders of Synergy Dance Fitness. Mr. Bandini, Ms. Thibeault, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us today.
I really enjoy your t-shirts and this beautiful logo, Synergy Dance Fitness, your company. Tell me, how did you get into becoming a dance instructor?
Well, I first started taking dance classes as a student about seven years ago probably, and then I was in Virginia living then, and then I moved to Maryland, and it kind of happened by accident. I wasn't planning on being a dance instructor, but once I moved in here, I figured that I could also be teaching classes as well.
And how did that transform into not only dance but dance fitness?
Well, dance, it just depends on what kind of classes you are taking.
Okay.
So I tried to start looking for places in specific locations such as gyms, studios that offer dance fitness classes, and that's why I became a dance fitness instructor.
Wonderful. And you?
I actually started as a student in Manuel's class.
Okay.
Maybe 4 years ago, I would say, and loved it and lost 70 pounds doing just his class.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
I felt like I couldn't get away from it, and instead of spending a whole lot of money on it, why not make some money doing it? So just seemed like a logical step to become an instructor after I'd been there for about a year.
Wonderful. So when you become an instructor, what is required? Are there any tests that you need to take?
Well, there is different certifications that you can acquire depending on what exactly you are going for.
Mm-hmm.
There is an AFA certification, there is an A certification that you can get. There is
What did you get?
At first, I just got my Zumba. Now I'm trying to work towards my A certification. That's what I have right now. I also got my CPR and my AED certification. Those are
Okay.
requirements
Safety.
for classes. Yeah.
And you said these certifications, Zumba is a type of dance fitness.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that you're certified is ACE, you said?
Yeah.
What is that?
ACE is the American,
Council and exercise, I think.
American Council Exercise.
American Council Exercise.
Yes.
Okay. So at your fitness classes, how do you lead this class, or how do you make sure the class is both having fun and getting their exercise?
Well, I think you really have to watch your class and make sure that you're not going above their heads or above their fitness level, because it won't be fun if they can't do the moves you're doing. So I think being really aware of what's going on around you is important. But the music really kind of does it itself. We use some
yes.
pretty awesome high energy music and things from all over the world, so it's hard not to get involved and hooked and have a good time with the kind of music that goes on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of call it my happy hour, where I am actually going in there and just enjoying myself and getting away from every single thing that could happen in the day. And it's just a moment to be away from reality and just be excited of what you're doing and enjoying it.
So you used to be a student, so I see you came to the classes. So who else, what kinds of people come to your classes?
Oh, wow.
Well, I think we have a big variety of people that come to our classes. I have actually some kids from high school that come to classes
Okay.
with their parents, and it's actually sometimes that it has been complete families, mom, dad, and both kids came to class together. And also there is some elderly people that come as well and take classes with us. So it's a big variety. And
then I teach a kids class once a month as a special event each month. And we take kids as young as 3 sometimes. So we might have, and at the end of kids class, we go upstairs and dance with the adults for the last 15 minutes. So we, in that room, could have anybody from 3 to in their 70s. Some of our students are. So it's a really nice range. And our particular students, I'm sure everybody's proud of their students, but ours are very much like a family and very nice to everybody and really encourage each other.
Everybody gets to know each other. Everybody talks to each other. It's a very welcoming environment. It's almost feeling like a family reunion every time that we dance.
It really does.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty cool.
So then maybe you can share, why do you think, for you, Ms. Thibeault, that this type of exercise really worked in shedding the weight, and what makes it so effective, what Mr. Bandini has done in his classes for you to
Mr. Bandini
to lose the weight?
Well, it's not like exercising, I guess. I mean, you're doing all the calisthenic kind of moves, you're squatting, you're doing all the things that are hard and make you sweat. I mean, I would come home and show my husband my shirt. Look how sweaty I am, and show him how much sweat I did today. But you know, it's just fun. It's dancing with your friends, so it doesn't seem like working out. Like if you're on an elliptical all by yourself trying to push through that hour, it's like you look up and half an hour is gone already. So it just flies by, I think.
On a typical day, what is it like for you guys as instructors? How many classes do you teach?
Well, in my particular case, this is my full-time job, so it really depends on exactly which day of the week we're talking about. Because like on Mondays I teach 3 classes, on Tuesdays through Fridays I teach 2 classes, and during the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I just teach 1 class a week.
Okay.
So it really depends exactly of which day of the week we're talking, but I pretty much work Monday through Sunday.
And each class is how long?
Each class is an hour long.
An hour.
Yes.
And are there special time slots for children?
We do an hour also. We do 45 minutes alone and then the last 15 with the adults. And we do teach together on Saturdays an extra long class for those that like a challenge. We teach a 90-minute class. So that can be
It's a non-stopping 90-minute workout.
That's pretty impressive.
It's pretty intense.
So how do you gauge, or where do you go about considering the special types of students you have, or their health needs, physical needs? Where do you see or plan for that during your workouts?
I think if it's a class that you go to on a weekly basis, I think you sort of get to know your class and know the majority of people who come and where they are and what they like, so you can sort of tailor the class to them. If you walk into a brand new class or you have a lot of new people, the warm-up's really important. you see are they totally lost, or are they pretty talented, and sort of go from there with what you're choosing.
Okay.
Yeah, so variations are always something that we actually try to always explain, and stuff that it needs to be done or how to do it, or always make sure that everybody knows what their limits are. Even though that we push them, we don't want them to be injured as well.
Definitely, that must be very important.
Yeah, it is.
Well then, in terms of telling them how to move, the choreography, where does that come from, or where do you plan your choreography?
Well,
we fight.
Yeah, because she has a completely different style of choreography than I do.
Okay.
I just listen to songs, and in my head everything works out.
Wow.
And while as her, she has to sit down and actually work it through it and go for it.
I want to do it. He can see it in his head. I need to get in front of a mirror and see if it works for me. But so sometimes we choreograph together if we're having a good day.
If we're having a good day.
Sometimes we do separately and then sort of show each other before it goes to class to be sure that there's nothing the other one.
I mean, I actually think that most of the times we actually try to run our choreographies with each other, so we both know what the song is like and what steps we're using into it. But yeah, that's the only thing, that we both had different ways of approaching the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that makes that's a nice variety too. I mean, because when we throw both of our choreos together, it makes for a more diverse class. So
That's great.
nice.
How big are these classes?
Oh,
Wow.
anywhere from 5 to 105, honestly. It depends where you're teaching or what time of day a lot of times. So,
where are you based?
I'm scattered. He's more based at a studio in the Kentlands.
Okay.
And I'm there sometimes during the week, and then I hit a few other gyms and another studio in the area too.
I see. And I know that this is dance, so obviously some people might be more hesitant, right, as a student. Can you tell me about how you are engaging your students so that they do come out of their shell and do dance, because that's the exercise?
Well, I think it is just the way that you actually present it to people.
Okay.
How do you actually just approach it, and how do you, I feel it's just sometimes it's just making them laugh and making them feel comfortable with themselves. It actually brings them out and makes them feel better.
Yeah.
So
if you're willing to sort of make a fool of yourself, then it makes it easier for them, I think.
Yeah, for me it's actually just always being smiling and laughing with everybody, not laughing at anybody, but laughing with every single person in my class, and I try to approach every single person around, and just to make sure that everybody's comfortable in classroom.
I feel like you build their confidence a lot. I get that from what you're telling me.
It is. You can see big improvements in every single person, so it changes lives pretty much.
I went from a back corner to leading the class. I never thought I would do that, so this is what brought me into that. I walked into the first class and thought, I'm not doing that. Look at them shaking everything they own. No, I'm not doing that.
Wonderful.
But
great.
It's a great choice.
Thank you. It is now time to take a break, though. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back to talk more about what it's like to be the actual owners of this dance fitness company.
My name is Fernanda. I'm the wife of a teacher. Budget cuts affected my husband's salary, so I'm picking up some part-time work. We're doing everything we can to make sure our kids eat today. Tomorrow, I just don't know. Fernanda, how'd I do?
Well, I usually fold the underwear first.
I meant the acting, but good to know.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
You can't text and pay attention to the world around you, and you definitely can't text and drive. Every year, deaths due to distracted and negligent driving are increasing. In fact, while drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving fatalities have skyrocketed. Find out more at negligentdriving.com.
We are this close.
We are this close.
To direct models.
This close to making history.
Often wanting.
We are this close.
We are this close.
We're this close.
This close to changing the world. We are this close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again.
We are this close to making history. We are this close to ending polio.
Because we are this close to ending polio.
We are this close to ending polio.
We are this close
to changing the world.
This close. All we need is you.
Is you.
Is you.
Is you.
We are this close. This close.
Be a part of history at rotary.org/endpolio.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Hello? Hello? I've been on the street for a while. I saw your poster outside. I don't know what to do.
National Runaway Switchboard, how can I help? Call 1-800-RUNAWAY to make the connection.
Welcome back to Career Choices. In today's program, we've invited Mr. Manuel Bandini and Ms. Joy Thibeault to share their experience as dance fitness instructors. And they're also small business owners as they've co-founded Synergy Dance Fitness. So thank you again for coming here. And I wanted to ask you, how did this come about where you decided you wanted to own this business, doing what you love as dance fitness instructors?
Well, I see a big potential as in the market for this type of business.
Okay.
And I just think it comes naturally to our heads. We do this, it's fun, and we like it, and it helps us to keep in a good shape in our bodies, so why might as well go ahead and do so.
Okay.
I think we really enjoy working together, so it makes sense to have a company together.
How old is this company, Synergy Dance Fitness?
About 1.5 years old at this point.
Okay.
So we're new.
Brand new.
Brand new, very good. When you first started, in terms of the business plan, how did that come into formation?
I think we started thinking about having our own studio eventually, and went through the steps that it would take to do that eventually.
Okay.
With the name and figuring out how to streamline everything, keep track of who we're seeing, do all those types of
marketing and all the types of things that are required and needed for.
So before the break, you had said you do this full time.
Yes,
Is that the case for you?
No, I do it part time. I have a full time job, 8:30 to 4:30, and then I do this at night. I teach 7 or 8 classes a week, so basically every day I'm teaching, twice some days. So
that's very good. What do you think right now? How are you finding this arrangement?
I think in my case it works out pretty well because I get to kind of choose what hours I want to work and how many days a week I'm actually working. So I'm very happy with it.
Yes.
I'm very enjoying it.
And I, on the other hand, would love to swap my full-time job for this job. But, that's not in the cards at the moment, but maybe as we get the studio off the ground and progress with the company, that's my dream for the future.
Yeah.
It definitely seems like the perks of owning your own business is very, very attractive. In terms of your goal as this business grows, are there any specific goals you have in mind to achieve?
Definitely opening up an own studio so we can go and have a specific place where we can be, so we don't have to go around everywhere and at different times. So that won't affect our.
So you may having one set location
right.
for all of your classes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Instead of the scattered gyms and other recreation centers.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
That'd be great. And of course, always the more students, the merrier. So you always want more people and want to get your name out and do presentations, different places, classes for different groups of people.
Very good.
It's always a goal.
In terms of having this kind of business, are there any licensing or requirements for this type of business?
Most dance fitness companies are typically LLCs.
Okay.
I think that's the most popular route to go. There are other ways to make it official, but the most convenient and easiest seems to be the LLC.
Okay. What kind of challenges or hardships do you think you've overcome by creating this business?
Wow.
Challenges. We challenge each other sometimes, but it all works out well in the end. And of course, there's always care of your body. I mean, when
Yes.
You're teaching 14 classes a week and I'm teaching 7 or 8 with, a full-time job. You tend to lose yourself and need to take really good care of your body, and people think of things like massage and stuff like that as extras, and for us it's almost a necessity because you really
your body
hard.
Definitely your body takes a big impact, being jumping all the time, being moving all the time, being being active so often. It definitely, you need to be careful with how you treat your body, and your body's a temple, so you better treat it right.
And he always told me, as I was learning to be an instructor, that an instructor needs to do double what you want your student to do. So if they're working out, we're like Olympic sporting it over here. I don't know what we're doing.
The levels. Wow.
So.
Yes, I wanted to ask you then, in terms of, it seems like it's definitely intense but very rewarding. What kind of memorable moments have you had that you could share?
We've had lots, I think. In just day-to-day classes, I get inspired constantly. I have a woman at one of the gyms who does my entire class with a cane, and I am inspired by that. Some people have lost, almost 100 pounds, some of our students, and gee, I thought I was good. No, she's good. She's lost so much weight and has been so dedicated, and hearing the things that they're going through in their life and then having them tell you, that you've improved it so much, or just that hour helps them, is fantastic. We've also done some nice events and things. We recently did a presentation at Lake Forest Mall, and there were just so many people there watching.
And it was very...
We invited our students to come be our backup dancers, which was great to have them there because they're our normalizing factor, You are who we see every day. You are who knows what we are and what we do, and it's great to have them on stage with us. So
definitely, there is the many different things that happen day to day. Just feeling grateful for being able to help somebody feeling better. Like, sometimes you're just having a bad day, or you're just not feeling happy, or it's not your day, and just hearing that you were able to make them smile, to make them laugh, and just them saying thank you for helping me, is just rewarding. It's something that I really appreciate, and it's something that I enjoy the most, I believe.
They're really friends. Like, they really become your family, your friends. You see them so often, it's like they are friends and family. So.
It's like almost you still don't see them and you're like, where were you? What happened to you? I'm sorry. It's time.
That's great. I can hear that joy in your voice when you guys both talk about the rewards. So we have about a minute. So maybe it would be great to just describe briefly what kind of advice would you give to someone who wants to consider this type of work?
Well, I will definitely say, don't do it because of the money. I believe actually that is for any single job out there. You do it because you want to enjoy it, not because what actually you're gonna get from it. Because always in life, things are gonna come easily as soon as they go. No, I'm sorry. Let me back that up. Things are gonna come easily, but they are gonna go as well very easily. So you do it because you want to enjoy it.
Yes. Thank you. And we have about like 20 seconds. Maybe just give 3 words to describe your job.
Fun.
Yeah,
definitely.
For sure. Demanding.
Demanding.
One more.
Awesome.
Great.
Yes.
We'll just end it. That's perfect. Well, thank you, Mr. Bandini and Ms. Thibeault. Thank you for sharing your experience as dance fitness instructors and owners of your small business. So this concludes today's program. Thanks to our guests, Mr. Manuel Bandini and Ms. Joy Thibeault, and thank you for joining us. If you have any feedback or comments, or if you would like to share your experience, please email us at qip.career.choices@gmail.com. And we will see you next time on Career Choices.